Well, well, well. Here we are again. It is Sunday. It is a beautiful, rainy Sunday here at Weird Brook. And we are about to do a daily divination ceremony. How are you doing? Yesterday was a full day. It was a really, really full day here on the homestead. We spent hours yesterday in the sun and in the wind. That's an important little nugget of context to explain how our day went yesterday. Anyway, so Morgana and I spent several hours laying down cardboard and gathering sticks and branches and things like that from the woods to start building the permaculture beds that we are putting in. We're taking out the lawn in front of the farmhouse, and that's where we're going to be growing the majority of the food that we're going to be storing in the farmhouse. There's other crops that we're going to be growing as well, but that's going to be primarily where it is. But to give you an idea of how fracking huge of a project this is, one of the beds is 4 feet by 105 feet. Yeah, that's 105 feet is a lot of feet to be laying down cardboard in the fracking wind. Imagine that. If you're imagining us being like blown around and the chasing the cardboard across the pasture, you're about right with that. So we spent significant time doing that. And Morgana and I, neither of us are what would be considered able-bodied. And so the way that we do the work on the homestead, granted, we get a lot of help. We have members of our coven come out regularly. Every new moon, we have an immersion weekend where members of our coven are invited out to participate in what we're building here at Weird Brook. But it was just her and I yesterday, and we nailed it. We got all of it laid out, found a bunch of sticks and rubble and stuff that is in the woods, because the woods are like right there. And so we're actually using that to do this. I'm very excited about this project, if you can't tell. While we're doing this building the beds project, we also have another like sidelined experiment going on, because there are like ticks here, like ticks. And I don't like slathering my body in poison. Like, there's something about the fact that it's the largest organ in my body and is super absorbent, has me kind of weirded out about that. So I'm trying to find other ways, and I make like everything pretty much, lotions and salves and oils and perfumes and you name it, I like make it. And so I'm developing a tick repellent ish. It's hard to describe, but yeah, hugelkultur is what we're doing in the front yards there. So yeah, the first batch that I made, I'm doing it in a body oil form because and I spent hours climbing up a hill in thick underbrush, digging up leaves and branches and everything, and ne'er a tick in sight. I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good for a first attempt. And Morgana asked if I would make a post outside body wash that would encourage them, if there's any hanging out, to let go. So that I'm excited about that too. There's a lot of different options if you look into, especially like scent combinations. Most of the time when you get like tick repellent stuff, it smells like mint and like rosemary and those kinds of like really astringent kind of scents. But there are other ways to play with this. I really like a clove and eucalyptus with like a lemon balm kind of vibe to it because it's different and it's like anyway, one of these days when I get my workshop is being essentially mailed across the country to me. It's in the process of being mailed here. Once I get my workshop here, I'll be able to invite you into my lab and what I'm doing. Okay. We're about to do a divination ceremony. I have consumed way too much coffee to be even thinking that this is a great idea. In fact, I was down in the kitchen just now pouring another cup of coffee. Because, I mean, okay, so another thing that we're developing is a coffee creamer. We're transitioning to making everything like in-house rather than going out and buying coffee creamer. We have everything we need to just make our own. And Morgana developed this brown sugar coffee creamer. It tastes like brown sugar. It's so good. And so I'm drinking excessive coffee because it's delicious. But I shouldn't be drinking that much coffee. And before you guys are like, oh, Jen, you could just have decaffeinated. I can't say what I want to say to you because YouTube is mad at me about it. So I can't use strong language anymore in the YouTube channel. It's like 30% of my vocabulary. So it's a real like problem readjusting, but you guys are worth it. Yeah, road trip. Anna, I hate calling witches out, not calling them out, but if you're in foundations, once you get 6 months in, you start getting more and more access to the resources of the coven, even though you haven't necessarily initiated yet, as a way for you to start to familiarize yourself and transition into a coven support network, which is totally different. Members of the coven can come to Weirdbrook for rehabilitation. It is in all of our best interests to engage with you as much as possible and empower you to, follow your calling and your path. And so when we do the immersion weekends, which is around the new moon of every month, you have the option of staying longer for one-on-one like apprenticeship and everything. We don't charge for that extension, right? That extra time, because again, it's in all of our best interests for you to feel super solid in your practice. And if that means spending some significant time at Weirdbrook, being nurtured in the environment where we practice what we preach in the coven, it's like it's a thing. Okay, let's do this divination ceremony. That's me like working with my internal system, get my shit together. This is a collective divination ceremony. I am asking specifically, where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? We all have access to the same information. We're just interpreting it through the lens of our own perspective. You're going to be very much engaged in this divination ceremony as much as you want to be. You don't have to identify as a witch. You just have to identify as curious. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments. There are witches all up in there that are happy to either direct you to additional information or answer your question for you. Ocean is our mod god today. Do we have any voice of God announcements today? We generally have a lot going on at the International Resource Center that we collaboratively like manage. The best way for you to stay on top of all of the free and public resources that we have out there is to go into our app space at community.brightanddark.org. That is an entire community app space, like your social media app, but it's just for all of us. And you're able to go into the events tab and RSVP to any event that you want to get notifications for. And these are ADHD friendly notifications, by the way. The entire system was created by neurodivergent witches with neurodivergent witches in mind. Everything that we do, the entire culture that we have is like neurodivergent. Okay, I'm going to adjust my chair and I'm going to hydrate. All of you that were at we did the podcast recording, the live podcast recording for Wisdom in the Weave yesterday, and water came up. And if you're like, what are you talking about, Jen? You can actually listen to our podcast on Spotify, and you can watch the live recording on YouTube. It was a lot of fun. Okay. Real talk for a second. How many of you struggle with drinking out of just like regular cup openings? Do you spill all over yourself on a regular basis? Like at least a few times a day? Do you like baptize yourself in whatever you're drinking, or is that just me? Because I need a sippy cup. That's like the only way that I can like not be wearing whatever it is that I'm drinking, because it takes so much of my like attention just to drink. I drink so carefully because of that. Is it an us thing? I'm glad. Hey, see, this is the benefit of community among all of us weirdos, because it's so validating. It's like, oh, it's probably just the way that my mind works. It's not because I'm broken in some way and need a sippy cup because I can't get my shit together. Sorry, YouTube. At least I'm catching it. I went 45 minutes in the live recording yesterday without dropping a single F-bomb. 45 minutes, guys. So proud of myself. Okay. Let's do this. I'm going to take 3 deep breaths, bring my whole system present, and then I'm going to start creating this space and preparing my system for divination so that I can get the clearest message possible. You do the same. And then we'll pull some cards. Stim if you need to. Oh, so crunchy today. Because I was climbing through the freaking woods on a mountainside gathering sticks. Okay. I humbly invite all that is fire within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is air within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is earth within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is water within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I beckon to this system. May we now align as one. For my cousins are the elements, and so the moon and sun. I call to those who love me. You are welcome in this space. For our nature is united, sharing magic, life, and grace. And now a declaration of intention. I'm surrounded by cats very suddenly. That's fun. Okay. I choose now, in this moment, to align with my whole self. To pull the book that tells my story from its place upon the shelf. I enter now this circle made of trust and hope and power. And I show up for my practice in this place and at this hour. Because I am home. Okay, let's do this. Where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? One of the things that I know I'm going to make in once I get my workshop here, something I've been wanting for my practice, my personal practice, is do you guys remember? I don't know, this is like old school witches, how they used to make those matches that were actually like incense sticks. Remember those? I haven't seen them in a while, but usually a good head shop would have them. But I want to make very small like incense sticks because I don't need a whole stick. And I also don't necessarily want to stop what I'm doing to put out the incense. I would rather it go out on its own. I like that the correspondences of it more to allow it to go out on its own anyway. So I'm probably gonna try my hand at making very small little incense sticks like that for ceremonial work. And yes, they'll probably be in the shop. That usually happens. Once I nail it, then we post it in the shop so everyone can have some. Okay. Are we ready for this? Where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? The Three of Swords reversed, or excuse me, upright. The Three of Swords upright. This is the card. I love how you can actually see my lamp when I show you the card. See how cute that little lamp is? Okay. I'm going to read directly from this card so that I'm not influencing your initial interpretation of this. This is the Tarotorial deck by Raven and Rogue. Pamela wrote all of these. I just really like these interpretations of the cards. This is not sponsored. It's never easy to hear at the moment, but grief and heartbreak can be defining and character building. This suffering you're experiencing is meant to make you stronger. Rather than focusing on the past, focus on what's ahead. Dust yourself off and keep on going. And the reversed is you've suffered a loss and you're still reeling from it. The reverse Three of Swords is telling you that it's time to let go of the past and work on healing your soul. All things pass, and this shall too. Focus on yourself or on things that make you happy to get your mind off what ails you. Okay, so what does this feel like for you? And remember what we drew yesterday. It's important. We should have like brewing music, Ocean. We totally should. I mean, not to like shit on you or anything, but some brewing music would be cool. Okay. Oh yeah, I can't hear it because I don't have a freaking speaker. That's what Ocean is reminding me of right now. I don't know what I would do without Ocean. Okay, this is definitely a collaborative effort. Bringing like me to the interwebs is not an easy thing to do. I appreciate all of the support. Okay. Yesterday, remember, we got the death card in what we were resistant to or in denial of, that was influencing our ability to determine the value of the relationships, what relationships to invest in our life. So today, having this Three of Swords as, what is highlighted, where should our attention be today? What is your relationship with grief right now? Right now, grief is a hard one. Most descendants of colonizers don't have experience with how to effectively process grief, because it's just not a thing. You just like pick yourself up by your bootstraps and keep going, whatever it takes, right? You force yourself to put your nose to the grindstone and push through it in one way or another. And what's happening when you do this is you just store it. You're storing it. I like to use the analogy of like putting in a backpack, but you're actually storing that grief in your physical body. It's influencing you on a mitochondrial level to hold that pain. It influences you on a generational level to hold that grief and that suffering. So actually having a somatic practice for processing grief is everything. Somatic meaning an embodied practice. You are actually allowing yourself to physically experience grief without trying to make it change, without trying to make it go faster or make it look a certain way. Okay. And this can mean that you have a dedicated altar for your grief, right? Everything that you actually need to take some time to acknowledge, you put something on that altar that represents that thing, and then promise yourself and your system that you're going to sit on that altar for the duration of a freaking birthday candle. If you want to, for the duration of this birthday candle, I'm going to sit and allow myself to think about this, right? And hold that object that reminds you of whatever it is that you've acknowledged that you need to allow yourself to grieve. And allowing yourself to grieve could be journaling. It could be crying. Have on the altar tissues or a kerchief and a bottle of water because, grief is incredibly dehydrating. And specifically for your grief. And your grief can be, I will never have the perfect family that I was taught to believe I would have, right? You can grieve that. I will never have the relationship that Disney told me I would have, right? You're allowed to grieve that, right? You're allowed to grieve your experiences over the last year. You're allowed to grieve the files. You're allowed to grieve uh, the current administration. You're allowed to grieve those things. You're not going to get stuck there. In fact, allowing giving yourself dedicated time to grieve makes it to where you can actually logically make decisions about how to proceed. How do I grow from here? Right? That happened. This is my new reality. This is where I'm going. Right? So, if you create a relationship with grief that you know the more time you sit and actually allow, where do I feel grief in my body? The grief over the files, I feel it here in my body. Taking a deep breath, sitting with that experience. I'm allowed to feel this grief in my body. Okay. And repeating that, I'm allowed to feel this. I'm allowed to. I'm allowed to feel this. When you do that, I give you my word, which I don't do very often, that it will change your world. It will completely transform the way that you engage in your relationships. It'll completely transform the way that your relationship with your life in general. Just this practice alone will do that. It's that big of a deal. And I will always say that this kind of work, this like Three of Swords work, is very well supported in my coven. If your coven is not supporting you through your grief, what are you doing? Do you want, what kind of coven do you want to be a part of, right? What kind of social group do you want to be a part of? If you are not getting that, you can. It is available. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to see what we're in resistance to or in denial of that is blocking our flow. How are we getting in our own way? The Eight of Pentacles reversed. I love that we're now starting to get a variety of cards. For the first few months of this year, we got the same like 5 cards on repeat. At least that's what it felt like. That's your highlighted card? That's fun. Okay, I'm going to read. You're focused on self-improvement and personal development, but don't go overboard. If you hyper-focus and obsess on perfection, you could throw yourself into a tailspin. You may also be having a tough time with responsibilities and or finances right now. Never be afraid to ask for help should you need it. And then the upright is the Eight of Pentacles may be telling you to chase after education, going back to school, taking on a new skill, or something in that vein. Whatever it is you're doing, you're working hard to master it. Know that the dedication you have will pay off in the long run. Will pay off in the long run. So what does that feel like for you? Remember the position. It's what you're in resistance to or in denial of that is influencing your ability to effectively process grief. See, I think one of the reasons I love doing these divination ceremonies, these live divination ceremonies so frequently, is the sweet, sweet validation that I get from the reading itself because, like, oh, the resistance card, the Eight of Pentacles reversed. Okay. By show of hands. I'm about to call out a bunch of like autistic mystics here. By show of hands. When you're feeling uncomfortable, do you tend to like turn to education? Turn to like, oh, this is a cool new thing to learn. I'm going to learn this. I'm going to learn this. Oh, I have grief in my body. Oh, okay. Well, I need books to figure out like how to process that grief. I'm going to learn all of that. I'm going to take a course on how to process grief. I'm going to like, blah, blah, blah. You need to embody it. Okay. We think that the answer to our problems is in some book that we haven't read yet. Some teacher has this like secret knowledge that if we just knew this one thing, we would find an easy way, like the easy way to process this, the easy way to change our world. Oh, it's this. Oh, ruby slippers, click, click, click. I'm fucking done. Oh, I'm done, right? Your relationship with grief. First of all, the only reason I know that you do this is because I do this. Like, and I honestly don't know a witch that doesn't, because we're so data focused. We're so like, we're so in this. When we first get our witch's call, we're like, there's a world, there's more to what I'm experiencing. There's more to this. There's more than what I've been told, right? And so we are looking for it. We're always looking for that missing piece to this puzzle. The missing piece to this puzzle is embodiment. It's what I just described, that practice of actually saying, I'm allowed to feel grief in my body. It feels like, and then put your attention on where you're feeling the grief in your body and start to describe it. When you're describing it, breathe, and on your exhale, release any resistance inside that you have to experiencing the grief. It feels like a knot in my stomach. And then turn that feeling all the way up. On if you feel a knot in your stomach, and on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 3, turn it to a 5. Feel it more all the way, as much as you can. Right? This kind of work is done really well with a therapist that does somatic work. Okay. And I am speaking as someone who is clinically diagnosed with complex trauma, right? It is very scary to feel those emotions, but once you start allowing yourself to feel them, you see them for what they are. They are messengers. They are not your enemy. You're not going to attract bad things because you're allowing yourself to experience your emotions. I'm trying to think of all the things we've convinced ourselves of in this like toxic positivity culture that we've been like spoon fed, that influences our relationship with grief specifically. It's very specific, and this keeps coming up. Have you noticed, guys? Our relationship with grief keeps coming up. There is a reason for it. The more we choose to turn into this guidance, the more of a foundation we're going to have when we actually need it. Do you hear what I'm saying? All right. Usually, when I get guidance of, hey, you should look on your relationship with grief, it's because grief is coming in some way. And the more I like fortify that and kind of turn inward about it, the more prepared I am for when it happens deeper, right? Okay. So, and this isn't messaging of fear. I don't have a relationship with grief that I'm avoidant of opportunities to engage with my grief. Okay. And so I would encourage you to as well. If you're afraid of your grief, reach out to someone in the community. If you are enrolled in foundations in our initiation program, or if you're a member of the guild, reach out, ask for help. We are here to help you through this. Again, it is in our best interest for you to have the support that you need to be able to live in alignment with your calling and your path. And if you are struggling with processing grief in some way, let us know. We can set a support group. Like, there are ways we can do this. Grief work is what you came to B&D for. Yeah, I can. That's a good one. Yeah. Okay. So I'm kind of feeling into this Eight of Pentacles to see if there's anything else. Right. It just immediately felt like that definite call in of don't just turn to books. You have to actually do the work. You have to actually, uh, what is it? Knowledge embodied is wisdom. Okay. Knowledge embodied. You have to embody it. That's why you have no choice but to embody the work that you're doing in our initiation program because embodiment is important and it's something that we need to learn. Oh, Heather. That's a good one. Heather says also, grief is not a problem to solve, but a reality that we carry. Grieving is about integrating it rather than removing it. Peace comes when we stop trying to fight it. Exactly. Yeah. Right. How often have you experienced something big traumatic experience, and you're like, will this grief ever end? Will I ever stop grieving my sibling passing or whatever? Will I ever stop grieving? It doesn't go away. You just change your relationship with it. Okay. When life as you know it changes, it's never going to go back to how it was. You're just going to change your relationship with it, and you can have a relationship of empowerment with grief. Grief is an indication, the depth of your grief is an indication of how deeply you can love. What is it? Grief is love with nowhere to go. Right? And when you sit and you give your grief your attention like that embodied attention, you are giving it somewhere to go. Right? So a little bit of light Sunday work here, guys. Today is the guild is meeting today. We have a guild meeting today, which super stoked about. I've been meeting with the guild once a month. Now that I wrote the grimoire and the workbooks for all the programs and I'm able to turn my attention back to training the guild. The guild is our coven. And this is my favorite thing in the world to do. Like in the whole world. All right, let's close out this working. And then I will see you tomorrow morning. And we're going to do the same thing. So, hand on your heart, take a deep breath. This working is now closing, but the magic has just begun. I humbly thank the elements and both the moon and sun. To all who chose to bless this flow, I now sincerely thank you. May our practice be expansive and our course be clear and true. All right. Remember, if you can't be good at it. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.